Hi, I think I'm live. Yes, right on dot. At least my computer says so. Right on dot, 8 o'clock. Hi. Hi. There's about 8 to 10 seconds of delay. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? If you're in Canada as well, I'm wondering what's the weather like in your place, because right now, outdoor, it's a nightmare. So many trees, right, have fallen down today, and nobody wants to drive outside because it's a nightmare. In Winnipeg, it's been snowing for over 36 hours non-stop, and you don't want to know what it looks like outdoor. Oh my god, it's so bad. Toronto is still 10 degrees. Well, wondering if this weather is gonna go to your place the next. Oh, it's really bad. If I streamed earlier, you guys would be able to see what is happening outside the window. It's pretty crazy. Hi from Taiwan everywhere. Yeah, Asia right now will be morning, right, in on Saturday, so it's not too bad. And for all the Canadians, happy Thanksgiving. It's so early, you know, every time, you know, when they talk about Thanksgiving, it's like completely different here and then compared to the US, because it's just so early here. Well, I'm by myself, so I don't have to go to any, you know, like gathering, family gathering. I'll just be on myself, on my own, and then doing live streaming on YouTube. What a life. What a life. Hawaii, wow. It's sunny and hot and nice. Lots of sunshine and vitamin D. Okay, so today we're talking about the Untamed. I haven't actually decided exactly what the structure needs to be. So I guess if you have any questions about the drama or the book, you can try to type that up and see, you know, I could help you, or at least directing you to where the answers might be. Or we would just want to discuss random stuff about this drama, or, you know, whatever really. This one is just about the Untamed. 陈情令. It's really weird. The title is really weird because it's book version. Printed version is called 无忌, which is the title of the song that Lan Wangji and that Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan sings together. They sing together. And then the web novel title is 魔道祖师, which is translated into the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I have to say, like, once it's translated into English, it sounds so weird. It actually sounds really, I don't know, it's just like make me laugh. So that's the title of the book, printed, and the book on web. But when it goes to drama, it's 陈情令. You know, it's very confusing for people. I'm just saying. If you don't know Chinese, you're like, what the, And also, actually, the drama title doesn't make sense. In terms of, like, the language itself doesn't actually make sense. Because I think it just sounds good. That's why they said it like especially the Liang character, which means order. It's just like, you know, it actually doesn't make sense. Do women have both courtesy and birth name? Depends. There's no strict rules about whether you should have or shouldn't have in ancient time. I mean, mostly, like, you have to be born in a well-off family that's educated. If you're like a farmer's peasant girl, you know, there's no reason for you to have more than one name. Probably if you're like high, you know, like high social elite, you know, noble class, well-educated, yes, likely. But then there are famous people who are actually very well educated in Chinese history, who happen to be women, who actually don't have, you know, 字. So it's not like 100% rule, but for guys probably much more. And also just because ancient China, most women's name are not known, it's not recorded, like not even their given name, their surname, right, is recorded, and then you don't know their given name. So let alone if they actually have 字, you know, it would be not possible for the history to record. What is cultivation? You know, like, yeah, the Chen Qingling character, the title, I'm just like, I don't think it's a very good title, but I think they're trying to run away from 魔道祖师, which definitely will not pass censorship. And 无忌 is too, what exactly do you mean? So they settle with that. Cultivation. Cultivation, what is cultivation? Cultivation, 修行, 修仙. Although, in the drama, they say 修仙. This is like a made-up concept. It's not really anything. Yeah, because it's borderline magic. It's not realistic. It's not like 武侠, which is, yeah, people fight, but they're still human, right? And they don't have magic powers. Whereas 修仙 often gives you that thing that's actually not realistic at all. But cultivation, in a sense, it just means, you know, you kind of train yourself to be more than just mere normal mortal human. 修行 in Chinese would be cultivation. It's more like if you're Buddhist, you're Taoist, you're a monk, you know, you go to temples, you kind of sit there and meditate. I mean, not exactly that, but that type of thing can be called 修行, literally meaning correcting your behavior. That's the meaning of the word. But 修仙 in this term is just like more like cultivating those skills to become, I guess, like they want to become immortals. And it's not real. It's like a made up concept in drama and storytelling. So not actually any real thing. I'm just looking at questions. Why Wei Ying? The book never says why he named his flute Chen Qing. Drama doesn't say that either, but I think if you know Chinese, you know, like you kind of understand Chen Shu. Okay, I think the translation on Vicky's version is wrong. It says old something. It's not. Like Chen, the character, can mean something that is old, but here it is coming from the word Chen Shu, which means just say something or lay something out or give a very full account of something. So Chen Qing is the situation of the things. So the flute is like, the name of flute is explaining things, explaining the situation, and in a way that's like give it all. So pretty much like a very nice name, because he has a lot of secrets and stuff that he can't tell, but then he probably really wants people to know, but then he can't. So that flute is like his voice, secretly telling the secrets in his heart. I don't know. Why do I see Meng Ziyi's name? Well, if they make the two movies, it will be about the peripheral characters, the supporting roles. It will not be about, you know, Lan Wangji and Wang Yibo. So there will be like a web movie, that type of thing. Well, the part of learning black magic is not very clear in the book either. He basically falls down into the ballroom mounds, and then 3 months later he comes out. He kind of invented weird tricks and stuff of controlling ghosts and whatever, and it's never clearly described exactly what he went through, even in the book. So that's the drama really followed the book very closely. I just have to say that, because if it's not in the book, it's pretty much not in the drama either. Ling can mean command. Yes, Chinese is like that. Chinese has, because 命令, right? In Chinese, the word 命令 is command, but it can also mean order, right? It's kind of the same thing. Not like the order of Phoenix, but the like I order you to do something, that type of order. I don't think the book didn't give I don't think the drama didn't give Lan Wangji what he deserves. I think it's very well made. The only thing is the editing is very troublesome. Often when it comes to like Lan Wangji, like they cut too early. Like you should stay on his face for a couple of seconds more and then you cut away. I've seen so many cut away from him to other things. I'm like, stop! You should stop there. Give me another second. Because it happens so many times on Lan Wangji's face. I have no idea why editing is like this. It's much less for everyone else. But particularly for him, it's the case. That's what I've caught. I don't understand why, but I don't think in terms of script writing, it is like unfair or to him, but in editing, it's very weird. Well, in the book, it's also very unclear. Yes, Wei Ying's death is just like very, very vaguely described. Never exactly what happened. So, I mean, they actually made it more clear in the drama, right? But they changed it from the book too. How do I feel about the ending? I think that's the best they can do. If they do anything that's more explicit, you know, not gonna pass censorship, probably. So, you know. And also, I think, if I haven't remembered this wrong, the ending that you see right now is a reshoot because their 通告单, which is like every day you print out, you know, what you do, like the schedule, was leaked, and then the sort of final shots were actually written on their sort of like notice as reshoot. And then initially they shot different ways of the ending. And I think that's to do with the incident of one of the actresses' role getting cut down, or getting added too much and then getting cut down because of the leak. So they reshot the ending. And probably due to what they already have in the can, and also time and budget, and also what can pass censorship, all those things come together, resulting in the ending that you see today. But if you look carefully, between the part on the top of the mountain, and then Wei Ying playing the flute and then hearing someone calling his name coming from his behind, and he turns around. These two scenes are actually not of the same time because his clothes changed. When they parted, he was wearing black, yes, but a different clothes. Like, it's not like just the outside coat or something, the whole thing is different. And then in the scene the last scene when he turns around, it's a different piece of clothing. So, I mean, you can argue that that means time has passed. Maybe he went away and now he comes back, you know. It's not explicit, and I think it's reasonable for them to do that. You know, like, you can never be too careful. And even if they filmed very explicit, you know, happy kind of couple ending, it may just get cut. So, I don't know, or maybe it did get cut. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it's a lot of questions. So let me just quickly look at them. Yeah, they're gonna have a concert in Nanjing next month. All those main, like, there are a lot of musically talented people in this cast. The guy who plays Liu Haikuan, who plays Wang Yibo's Rose, Lan Zhan's brother, he's a musician, pianist. Xiao Zhan is the singer of his band. And Wang Yibo is the dancer, but then he is okay. Like, you know, like, singing is not his strongest. But who else can do music? Oh, and then Jiang Cheng's actor Wang Zhuocheng is a musical actor. He's trained in musical. So, and also, like, you've all heard Wen Ning's actor singing really well. And also the lady who plays Ajing sings very well. Like, everybody is pretty much like really good at music. So it's gonna be a really cool concert. I wish I could go. But the thing is, even if I could go, I probably would never, like, I wouldn't be able to get the tickets. The tickets will be sold out in nanosecond. It will. It will. I'm pretty sure. And I don't think I'm ever gonna get that lucky with these type of things. The audio drama. I haven't actually heard the audio drama. I know it's very good. I've listened to like snippets of it. The cast should start. Who, like, if they start their own idol group, what company is gonna take them on? You know, they all belong to different companies. You can't just form another company and take them away from them. I don't think that will work. Fan meeting in USA? I haven't heard about that. The drama is gonna air in Korea, South Korea very soon. Afterwards, whether anything is gonna happen. The thing is, you know, to pull them together to make any appearance is a very big logistic nightmare because they are all filming different things, doing other work all over China. It's very hard. You know, it takes so much effort and money, and you know, like, what's the good reason behind it? And they all have their own sort of career planned out, so it's very difficult. It's a big cast. What dynasty? No dynasty. The story is completely fictional. You can even say it's not on Earth. It just happened to be somewhere that looks very much like China. A generic ancient China. Audio actors. I think, is it 陆之行恩边疆? I can't be quite sure. I think it's the same actor who played Lan Zhan's voice, right? I mean, if I had time, I would probably go and listen to the audio drama. I just never got around to do it. International attention. It did already get international attention. Would you agree? White Sea, this drama. Otherwise, why are you guys here? Yeah, the audio drama is good. I know it's good. And they can be more daring, you know, in that media. Who's my favorite character? Who's my favorite character? It's very hard to say. I can't really pick, especially between the two leads. They're just very different people. I mean, I probably would prefer Wei Wuxian if in real life, you know, you meet this person, at least you can talk to him. Whereas Lan Wangji is like 八棍子撬不出一个屁, okay, in Chinese, which is like you can hit him with your stick 8 times and he wouldn't even fart once. I know it sounds ridiculous, but basically there's no conversation. There's just one direction conversation when it comes to Lan Wangji. So that might be, you know, you're gonna sit with him in a room quietly for 3 hours. And he can do that. He can just meditate and you fall asleep. So maybe that's not the best way, like, of making friend. But who would be the most interesting person to know in your life? It's really, that's a really difficult question. I think actually Lan Xichen is a really nice guy. Very well balanced, you know, like, you can, all things considered, right? Probably one of the nicest person in this drama, who is also very like, he's just all around very good. When will the pins become available? Okay, so the pins, I'm waiting for Wei Wuxian's redo, so I did them. And then what happened was, there's just, I'll show you guys. Let's hope, okay, the camera actually focuses properly. Because it doesn't really focus very well, especially when you try to do these things. So if you can see this, let's see if it actually focuses onto them. They're right now on the same plane. And if you look carefully, Wei Wuxian is bigger. Okay, he is just bigger in size than Lan Wangji, and if they need to show up basically in the same universe, it's a bit weird. I don't know, the focus is not working very well. and then I have a delay, so I can't tell if my if my camera is focusing on correctly. Come on. Okay, so basically they're just different size. And also Wei Wuxian's mouth is a wrong color. I designed pink and then they gave me white. So I'm remaking him to pair up with him. And because of that, there's gonna be a delay. And I probably will still sell those bigger Wei Wuxian on my site, because as a pin on itself, it's really no problem. There's no defect of it. It's just like wrong size when it pairs with this one. So I probably will still sell this one, maybe at the discount price, but then I need to wait for the proper size of Wei Wuxian. So, and people were joking because I put this on Weibo in China, and they were like, but in real life, Lan Zhan's head is smaller than Wei Wuxian's, or Wang Yibo's head is smaller than Xiao Zhan's. I'm like, shut up. I don't want to look for trouble. Is Lan Zhan immortal? I have no idea. Because, okay, this drama is talking about Xiuxian, about ghosts and all of those things, but nobody ever actually in the drama achieved any kind of immortality. Not like Hua Qiangu, you know, like Journey of the Flower, where they actually, you know, like from human to, you know, like immortal beings. You can't really, like, I don't exactly know, like, but at least it's very clear, you know, you can get to a level where you just don't die, I guess. But in this drama, nobody ever actually is like immortal, so I think it's just using the genre, the name of Xiuxian to have fun with it, so that they can tell the particular type of story that the writer wants to tell, but he doesn't really care if actually people are immortal. So I don't know if they're immortal. I hope they are in their world. Yeah, but she's like not really immortal either, right? Baoshan Sanren. She's just like really old. Pretty much like Tilda Swinton's like role in the Marvel universe, you know, like very old, hundreds of years old, but still not like immortal. Yeah, the OST is very good. I mean, actually, a lot of songs are never showed up in the drama. You know, they made one song for each main character that never showed up in the drama. So that album is just precisely created for the album, like for the point of having an album. Most of the songs are not actually in the drama, which is very funny. And some of them are not that well made. I mean, I actually have a problem with Wuji, the version that's sung by Xiao Zhan alone, and then Wang Yibo alone, and then them together. Both, like all three versions, I really hate the arrangement. I mean, the song is beautiful. I hate the arrangements. I hate how it's just like designed, the soundscape, let's just say. Oh, and my heater just come up. I hope you don't hear that. The humming. I much prefer the version of Zhou Bichang, the lady who actually the female voiced version of Wuji, with like just very light piano to start, and then everything feels really smooth and lovely. Whereas the version that you hear with Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, like the drum beats are just crazy. It's a ta 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 ta. I mean, this is a Chinese Xiuxian drama, right? It sounds so weird. Why do you give it that kind of... It's just like jarring. It doesn't fit into the genre. And it's... And also the... what is the... Between the second... So... I never remember those terms for music. So, but after they sing the first time, right? There's a break and then they sing the second time. In between, that arrangement is just crazy, and everything sounds like they're changing keys in all kind of weird ways, and it's like, why do you do that? It sounds so bad. The female version is so much better. Yeah, and also the song was Jiang Cheng, so Wang Zhuocheng's song. was so like, it's recorded in a way you feel like he went there into the studio and just sang it once and then got out. It sounded so not polished, but you can still tell like he's a professional singer because the way that his voice comes across is like, okay, this guy is trained, but he didn't do a good job because it sounded like they just didn't bother to record, you know, like enough times. It's like rushed, super rushed how they did. Yeah, the bridge. Is it the bridge? Because bridge would be, is bridge like after chorus you have a bridge and then you have the final thing? I don't remember. Like in English, no, I'm not music major. 师姐 songs is the best. 师姐. Oh, that song. I'm not a big fan of that song just because that song is, the lyrics is too in your face. I don't like a song lyrics that is too in your face, especially when it comes to Chinese, just because the tradition of the language, the poetic tradition of it, when you sing something that is like literally in your face, it's a bit, again, it doesn't quite fit into the ancient, generic ancient kind of storytelling setting. Especially when the lyrics like comes to like, you know, it even mentions Wei Wuxian's name as A Xian in the lyrics, which is a little bit too much for me. So that's just not how I would like lyrics to be. The song sounds nice, it's just the lyrics is like I mean, you know, because I can't turn off, right? Chinese is my first language. I can't turn that off in my head and just listen to the music. Once that lyrics comes up, I'm like, ugh, that's so weird. Because English has a lot of songs already that are very, very straightforward. So in that language's tradition, it fits, like it's okay, much more acceptable. Whereas especially in an ancient setting drama, where everything tends to be more 文言, at least towards that direction, than say the modern Mandarin, you have a line that's that direct is really weird, just to my ears. I have no idea why this drama didn't get like censored more. I have no idea. Maybe somebody really powerful at pulled the strings. Maybe somebody had like really high up friends, because it has that feeling like either Tencent put a lot of effort into it, or the production, like the producer, maybe have some very good connection with people higher up. Because I mean, look at what Guardian turned out to be, right? But these things are just like, you can only guess. Nobody ever actually tell you about like why, you know, things are the way they are. Yeah, Agent Grady. Yeah, you're talking about actually classics, right? Like classics, yeah. But currently, you know, these novels like 魔道祖师 are actually web novels, which is, I mean, the nature of it dictates it's like not gonna be high quality, not highly researched. It's produced like popcorns, you know, like it's there for consume. Like people read them. It's just like watching YouTube videos in the same way. So usually you don't see like highly researched things happening in web novel, unless the person already had done a lot of work and then they start to write, not before they actually start to, you know, put those chapters out. So yeah, cave scene. Okay, it's scrolling really fast, so I'm trying to just see what. How how popular are Untamed leads? They're pretty popular. But I would say their sort of fandom are a bit different in terms of demographics. I think the demographics of Guardian cast a wider net in terms of age group, you know, like gender, profession, you know, it's probably older people, you know, like, and wider net, whereas Chen Jingling Untamed is like a smaller in terms of demographics, but number wise I have no idea. Yeah, Yintie is a made-up thing. The in meadow didn't exist in the original, and they added it so that the way they tell the story could work. And then probably just censorship stuff as well. So because of that, and also I think the Xue Yang and Xiao Xingchen's line got pulled forward in time. It's a reasonable thing, because if they don't show up until like episode 38 and then they take like 2 episodes away where like it's completely about their story, people will be very, very confused. And by that time, you know, you already are fully immersed in Wei Wuxian and Lan Zhan's story, and then suddenly these guys show up from nowhere, and then, you know, it's all about their story. People are not going to be happy. So it makes absolute sense that they pull Song Lan, Xiao Xingchen, Xue Yang all forward in time, which is different from the book. But yeah, Xue Yang's, I mean, in the original book, right, that story between Xue Yang, Xiao Xingchen, Song Lan, and Ajing are very interesting, probably the best subplot line this drama has. But it does have that problem, like I said, it just comes out of nowhere and it takes a huge chunk of the narrative and nobody else shows up, which doesn't make sense from a drama standpoint. Just imagine like your lead character doesn't show up for 3-4 episodes. You know, people are gonna riot. So yeah. Jiang Chen was unlikable in the drama. He's probably not that likable in the book either. But he's like one of those people who are actually essentially not bad. It just is very, it's not easy to deal with. And he has his own sort of, he's not that perfect, you know, he has his own shortcomings, I think, and it's not the sort of the very ideal main character, the good person, you know, the perfect almost person he's not, but then he's not really bad either. I actually really like his dynamic with Wei Wuxian, but then I would say in the drama they tried their best and certain things do work very well, especially towards the end. But in general speaking, generally the actor is not that good at acting. So lots of missed targets in terms of Jiang Chen's character. Well, Jiang Chen probably didn't directly kill Wei Ying. In the book, it said he led a group of people that went into the burial mounds, and then Wei Ying died being basically, I think it was like the ghosts that he was trying to control, or kind of lost control and kind of came back at him. So he's like basically died because of his own invented weird tricks. That's like the book version, and then it never actually writes out the details of exactly what happened. It just like very briefly mentioned what happened. So yeah, what happened to Wei Wuxian's body? His first lifetime probably just completely eaten by ghosts. So that is the one big problem with stories, the dramatic like visual telling, is you can have two different actors playing Wei Wuxian, right? People would not buy into it. Whereas in the book, basically his first lifetime, he's Wei Ying, the good-looking guy. Second lifetime, everything that happened in the drama's version 16 years afterwards are all actually happened in the body of Mo Xuanyu, who is a different person, looks different, completely physical appearance, different from Wei Wuxian, and he's Mo Xuanyu all the way through. So everybody else still thinks he's Mo Xuanyu, but only Lan Zhan knows, the person inside is actually Wei Wuxian. But you can't do that with dramatic storytelling on screen, right? Like you have Xiao Zhan playing like what the episode 2 to episode 32, and then everything else is by a different actor. Like that will not work. So they kind of just shied away from the problem. They never directly addressed, like, his face actually didn't change, but why people don't recognize him as him, but then how did they again recognize him as him, which Jiang Cheng did, right? So it's very muddled. I think they gave up trying to figure out how to explain it, because you can't really explain how that works. I think audio drama, or what you call radio play, so pretty much it's like a radio program. Oh, Sheena, you never seen a drama, but here to support. Thank you. Why classic stories never adapted? It actually requires a lot of effort because it's written in that type of language, and the story is old. In a way, everybody knows what is going on in those old stories. And also, if you want to do a really good adaptation from ancient, what we consider to a couple of hundred years back writing, it actually requires the crew, the person who writes stuff, the directors, everybody who's in charge are very well versed in those things. And it's not easy. I can tell you that because I worked on Honglomong, right? And let me just because I really like Honglomong. I've read it so many times. At that time, back then, I can recite every character. Like there are over 400 characters named, and I can tell you each name, like who this person is, where he works, what's the relation with everyone else. Like I can remember that so well, and I can tell you, like in that crew, probably I'm the only person who can do that. The directors know, the producers know, the scriptwriters, I don't know. I never talk to them. But the thing is, it actually requires the people who work on those things know well enough. And frankly speaking, very few of the people who are working in the industry are that well versed in ancient literature. And even if they are, they're very few, and they don't necessarily sit in the seats to make decisions about what you can make or what you don't. So yeah. Wei Wuxian in the book was so blind to Lan Zhan's feeling. Well, Lan Zhan hardly really signals that much with any of his, he basically doesn't have expressions. The only person who can read him is his brother, right? The brother is what we call 读地机. We're just joking. Reading brothers machine. So it's like his brother knows everything that goes on in his head, even though he doesn't show on his face. It's very funny. Yeah, the audio drama. I know. Thank you. It still depends on time, It's just like if you get around and even think about that. Change the direction of drama. Yeah, okay. Lauren D. You know what? Are you talking about the incident? About cutting her row out, mostly? It probably, yeah, the fandom is crazy, but who leaked it is the most interesting story. We will never find out. But it's actually the people who are working on the crew that leaked it. It's pretty clear because they were shooting in a closed cave. Like even if you're paparazzi, you can't get in. You know, it's like not open. You cannot stand on the side of the mountain or top of the tree to shoot it. It's closed space. So when the closed space stuff gets leaked, it's clearly people who actually work in there who shot that. So, and then the rest is to the fandom. Most favorite scene in terms of acting, or like the scene that first got my attention and interest is the scene in the cave, episode 13, I believe. And then afterwards, I mean the part from 45 to 46, right, when the core thing got reviewed, is probably also one of the heightened sequences. Anything else? Oh, and also Lan Zhan getting drunk. Like, what can be better than him getting drunk? It's so good. Oh my god. Like, stealing chickens. It's like a gold. It's so gold. Oh my god. Stealing chicken is the best. And when he's like, 给你,都给你. Like, oh my god. That's the best. 肥不肥? 肥不肥? Is it fat? Yeah, the drunken scene. But it's like also from the book, so like I was so happy that they did it because I thought they would never do it. And I think in the book he got drunk twice. So there's once that he got drunk and then he played hide and seek with Wei Wuxian in the room like a kid, which is just ridiculous, but they didn't film that one. And they filmed this one, which is also very funny. We don't know what you get. Yeah. Yeah, rooster. Yes, it's 2 male chicken. 2 male chicken. Yeah, and then everybody's saying those are 2 male rabbits too, but I don't know. You can't tell. Do you think we have change the actor? Yeah, I don't think it will work, right? Like, it's just because the nature of visual telling, and also the actors wouldn't agree, right? I am the lead actor. How can you have 2 people playing the same role? It just it just wouldn't work. Let's just say. Best acting, in my opinion, I wouldn't say there's a particular thing that is the best acting. I would say there are a lot of small moments and those looks that they give each other, and then occasionally, like, you know, like when it comes up to a moment where they act together, almost like they haven't, it's like they haven't really communicated about what they're gonna do beforehand, and then they suddenly just do the same thing exactly at the same time. That type of, or the type of like not really saying anything, but then you can see the eye going back and forth, and like they kind of understand all those little moments. I think I think those are the really nice things. Not particular thing, you know, like which thing's acting is the best. The drama about a character being cut, yeah, it's just like it's already, you know, like it didn't actually affect the final product, which is the lucky thing and good thing. So whatever happened, you know, it's really not that important. The good thing is the drama basically managed to stay pretty much close to its original script and also to the book, with the changes made only for the sake of telling visual stories that makes more sense in this way, not with the change that actually change people's, like how important they are to a story, or what their plotline is, or what their relationships are. So everything pretty much stayed the same as you see in the book, in the drama, so that's the good thing. You know, and the rest is history, and it don't really matter because final product is there. Donghua, I've watched a couple of episodes. I didn't continue just because I kind of outgrew the Donghua anime. as a whole. There was a time I was really into it, but it's a long time ago. I kind of like, yeah, it's one of those things that happened to me as I grew older. Male rabbits. Can you actually tell if they're male just by holding them like that? I don't know. Rabbits are like rats. They're super reproductive. So after 16 years, those rabbits will be like the grandchildren of those earlier rabbits for sure. They probably infested the whole mountain. They're probably everywhere in Yunshenbu Zhichu, like you know, like pests. Who knows, will there be another one, right? Like Guardian last year, this year, but all those two are very restricted to web drama and sort of younger online audience, the people who are actually very active online. It's not outside of its, like, you know, like that circle. If you go to say your parents, your grandparents, the people who don't really watch dramas online, still watch on TV, who, you know, like 80 who are like in their 60s or 50 older, they have no idea about what Chen Qingliu is, no idea what Zheng Hun is. It's still very restricted. It's not the type of drama that everybody in China know. We are at the age now where sort of the mega star of the old times are no longer possible to be produced, just because how things are consumed and delivered. The media is a different media, right? Before there's no internet, you only have TV, so everybody kind of see the same thing. Right now, everybody pick what they want to see and they don't see the other things, so resulting in basically these things just have become much more subdivided. I've also actually designed the bunny pin. Like if you've seen my post, you probably see that design. I've already ordered them, so but probably another month before they can get here. The two hugging bunnies, I think they're very cute. When do you think Lan Zhan fell in love with Wei Yin? That's such a good question. Nobody knows. Probably first sight. I mean, if you really want to go at it, you know, probably as soon as they meet. But he doesn't know. The thing is, he will be not consciously aware of he is attracted to him. He would be like, this guy, because it's a very strong like system shock, right? This guy is very good looking, obviously, and very talented, a good fighter as he is, but he's so out of the box and then so different from what he considered to be proper. He basically got like, I don't know, like a shock, so that he's like, the way that how cold he is and how sort of always annoyed, you know, he is by Wei Wuxian is probably just his psychology trying to protect itself from the sort of like, I am so attracted to this person who is just everything that I shouldn't be. That is wrong. Therefore, I have to be very nasty to him. But then, you know, as time goes on, you realize, well. They're in their teenager years. Yes. Probably 15, 16, something like that. You know, like the ribbon thing is really funny because in the drama, the ribbon is really thin, right? It's like that. And then, do you remember the episodes in the 20s where they were doing this hunting in the mountain and they had to shoot arrows to enter? And then Wei Ying asked Lan Wangji like for can you give that to me? So basically he's trying to fold his like, you know, like blindfold himself. I'm like, you can't blindfold yourself with that noodle thing. Like you're gonna get your own eyeballs out if you actually do that. So it's really funny. It's like, it's too thin. It would not work as a blindfold. I'm just saying. I laughed so much at that scene. like Lan Xinchen to get married. The thing is, in this book and also in this drama, like the younger generation, right? Not the older one. In the younger generation, every male is pretty much gay. Like the closest female relationship they have is like with their sisters, you know, kings, and then mother, you know. Every guy is kind of gay. Jiang Chen didn't get married, right? Jingling never had a love interest. Lan Xinchen and Jin Guangyao are clearly a couple. Lan Zhan and Wei Wuxian, obviously. I mean, when you think about it, like you never actually see Nie Mingjue has a wife either. And Jin Guangyao married because for that reason, and he doesn't actually like her. Everybody's gay. Every guy, sort of pretty much like all the good-looking guys, right? They're all gay. That's it. Nie Huaisang doesn't have a love relationship either, right? Like you never see he's sort of interested in any girls, and Wenling pretty much didn't even get to adolescence, and then he dies as a ghost, so that's gone for him too. All the guys are gay. Oh my god. Because when you watch Vicky's version, all the live comments, like there's so many comments like, this drama is so gay. Like, you're correct, this drama is very gay. You know, like especially like episode 49 and 50 when the Jin Guangyao and Lan Xichen's plotline, like how they filmed it, you know, like do you want to die with me? And then okay, and then he pushes him away. I was like, that's like the oldest way of filming those like BG dramas in those scenes, and it's like, okay, that's like even more than the main couples. Like it's so clearly spelled out. It's like oh god. Even gayer. Poor Lan Xinchen. In the book, his he actually looks almost identical to Lan Wangji. They are not twins, but they're like very close in age, and they look pretty much the same. Just slight difference in eye color. I think that's a description. So if you just imagine a second Wang Yibo with Jin Guangyao throw, that would be very weird. Nie Huaisang. I just realized that Nie Huaisang is NHS, which is UK's health system. I was like, what? NHS is like it's like what has it to do with NHS? And then I realized Nie Huaisang. Lan Wangji, how Lan Wangji and Lan Xichen? Well, I guess magic, because they show xian, right? I don't know if they can have sex, like long distance. Mind sex. Do not just dig at details of web novels. You will come out very, very disappointed. Most of the details don't connect, or the details that even the writers don't. Like if you look at Guardian, how many details actually don't fit? Like then Shen Wei doesn't have soul, right? Doesn't have spirit, but then he has, you know, like he supposedly is a spiritless or soulless thing. But then when he got drunk and kind of like, you know, went out for a while, it was talking about. So like web novel details do not do not be too sort of dead set on finding out exactly what it is. You will not. It doesn't make sense most of the time. Wow, it's almost an hour. God, that's so fast. It's almost 9, people. I'm probably just gonna stay here for 10, 15 minutes max. Um, live streaming on Guardian. I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't know how to start that one. I've done too much for Guardian. It's just like, it's not healthy to the level. Lan uncle is in love with the dad. Lan Qiren's role is so, it's so weird in this type of storytelling. You often see, you know, your main role, whatever they belong to, like whatever generation they belong to, that generation is the best generation in the drama setting. Their elders are usually just old-fashioned, stupid people who can't do their job well at all, and useless, and just waiting for them to save them. Like, I just wished, you know, it's actually more, in a way, more interestingly written. Is like, it doesn't make sense for your elders to be completely useless. Like, look at in the drama, right? Like, he requires rescue from his nephews all the time, and it just doesn't make sense. Wow, you don't have anyone in your life, Lam Bao, or 2010, to talk about this drama? That's really sad. You know, it's very important that you like something and you find somebody who likes this and you're kind of friends, so it's great. I remember when I watched Guardian, and there was a time like I hadn't talked to a friend who's very dear friend to me, but we haven't really, you know, talked to each other for a long time. She's in China working, I'm here, and then because she also watched the drama, so we suddenly connected, and ever since then till now, it's over a year long, we still like almost daily change messages. So it kind of like brought her back to my life because of the drama. So I understand how important it is. Like, if you have something you like and then you happen to find somebody you like who also like it, that's just gold in life. BL. Oh, what other drama do you even convert to? I don't quite know what that. I'm trying to read things, they're too fast. Yeah, I understand, especially like because Chinese drama is still pretty small. Like, you know, like I'd say it's less than the K culture stuff, like K-pop, K-drama. So if you're not Chinese, it's very hard for you to find people who actually like the same thing, I guess. Especially if your culture and language is very far from China. One of those things. And also, just because China's domestic market is just so big, nobody really wants to venture out. Like, you can try very hard, spend a lot of money, a lot of effort put into it, and it still doesn't give you that much return. So dramas and stuff like that, most of those still like to stay within China's domestic market. They don't really want to go out. So there's no like actually official support, unlike I'd say K-drama, where a lot of K-pop and K-drama has that sort of orientation of looking at the global market, just because their native market is very small. So, you know, makes sense, right, to expand. Whereas in China, it's like, why do we need to care about international market? So that's the unfortunate thing. How the hell did 33 elders? Yeah, so that is basically to do with the writing. That doesn't make sense. Literally, you know. It's like, really, realistically, it just doesn't make sense. Why he goes to sleep? Because I think he's trained, right? It's his biological clock is trained since he was a child. So whenever the time comes, he just falls asleep. Actually, Wang Yibo's shoulder is really wide. He's just too skinny. I think the latest number of his body, like his weight, if I didn't remember wrong, is like 55, 54 kilo. It's under 60, and he's almost he's about 180, right? So just imagine that. I can win a fist fight with him. I'm just saying. The body weight thing is just completely evens out, and I have a lower center of gravity, so I will be more stable. It's very easy for me to push him over because he's that skinny. Just saying. But he has very wide shoulder and narrow waist, so that like proportion looks really good on screen. But yeah, he's not very strong for sure. He can't carry Xiao Zhan when they were filming. Do you remember them when they were on the bridge and then he basically piggybacked him down and they were basically laughing, and from a distance you look at the wide shot, they're both like actually laughing. I think they were trying to make the shot, I think, of him holding Wang Yibo holding Xiao Zhan this way, which is called 公主抱 in Chinese, a princess, right, lift, and then he couldn't. He literally couldn't do that, so it went on his, like, you know, it's the back version. It's so funny. He's so skinny. He literally like I wouldn't believe he can hold, like, but in the book it's very weird. It's like Lan Wangji has the strongest arms in the world, like not like big arms but very powerful. Like he can lift hundreds of kilos of stones with one arm. I guess that's the part of Xiuxian, right? That's not realistic. No, I think it actually, on the contrary, Aram and then Korean, I can't pronounce that, sorry. If there's no censorship and then you can film whatever you want, this drama would be nothing, because everybody would have already done more crazy stuff already, so this thing would not be, you know, in comparison. Do you understand what I mean? Precisely because there is censorship, this drama got what it got. If it's actually the, you know, if actually it was like allowed to be whatever it is in the beginning, it probably wouldn't even be like this. So yeah, I'm trying to look at the situation from different angles. And also, like, in the drama, it never explained how Lan Wangji got that brand on his chest, which is in the book. Basically, he did it to himself. I guess it's just like in too much pain, so he probably wouldn't like, shit, I just want to do that. But in the drama, it showed you, never explained it. Probably, I don't know if they shot it. Just cut it out or whatever. It's just like, okay, that's definitely the book fan service. We know that, and then they don't tell you exactly what happened. Well, you can still go back and watch the drama live stream. Don't make this put you off watching dramas. He was drunk when he branded himself. I don't know if a cut, like edited out thing, would ever be released. Probably never. Yeah, these things, the thing is, you know, you can always say this and that, you can guess, but you don't really know, right? You can't do it twice. You can't just jumping in and out of a parallel universe and see what happens in the other one. So I think it has outperformed everyone's expectation, so that's a good thing already. When you saw, because Naja came out so close to the Untamed, it's the same time, and it happened to be like, you know, two couples, right? So everyone I follow or whatever, like I look at, who are interested in Chen Qingling are also interested in Naja, and then they were interested in the CP between Naja and Aobing. So at the time, I think back in July and August, my social media feed in China was like flooded by these two things. I literally don't see anything else. I only see Chen Qingling's stuff, people's drawings, whatever, and then I see Naja and Aobing. These are like the two biggest like CP of the summer 2019. Well, yes, they're babies. Yes, Naja, but then they're not human. They're like sort of magical, supernatural, god-like beings. So they're 3 years old, but then they can do everything and anything. So how soft those boys are. You know, of those like 古装武侠仙侠 drama, the funniest thing to me is like how everybody always looks perfect when it's absolutely impossible. When you have a sleeve like that first, like it doesn't make sense to dress like that. You can't fight. Like even if you have a sleeve that's slightly wider, right, you get caught in everything. You get caught in doors, you get caught in any tree branches you would not be able to move. And then even if you can move, like you get dirty and messy, and your hair, like especially if you have long hair and it's like not tied up, good luck, you know, like fighting with that hair, you know. It's so funny. It's like everybody when they flip and then they land and their hair is perfect, I'm like, ah, it's so funny. It's like it doesn't make sense. What would actually happen is their hair would actually look like this when they landed, and it's just like whenever I see those things, I'm like, ah. And also Lan Wenzhi is dressed in white all the time, and he never gets any, like, unless he gets cut, right? There's blood, yeah, okay. And his clothes is otherwise perfect. It's just so, yeah, the fightings are pretty, but you know, like it's super unrealistic. Channel spiritual energy in their hair. It's so much wasted energy just to keep your hair look good. But as we say in Chinese, 头可断，发型不可乱, right? It's like you can have your head cut off, but you cannot have your hairstyle destroyed. It's very important. Okay, I'm just gonna stay here for another 5 minutes, and then yeah, it's really happy and lovely talking to you guys about the Untamed. Keep dirt off. Yeah, well, yeah, 碧晨, right? You know, all those names of weapons, they're kind of like a goodwill, you know, like or a type of thing to represent a person's, I'd say, their aspired qualities. I don't think they actually have those powers, just in their names, as the name has it. And I also, and there's a funny thing. In the drama, there are a couple of times when Wei Wuxian was playing the flute, and either he was faking it so that it doesn't sound like Wei Wuxian, or when he got a bamboo, just randomly, and then it didn't sound very well. It was so funny that they actually had this artist, this musician who plays flute really well. It's a she, and what they did was they in the recording studio they ordered the cheapest flute on Taobao, which is China's like biggest internet shopping website, and it's like 10 RMB. So it's like less than $2 Canadian. And they had that 10 RMB flute that's totally out of tune playing, and to ask this lady to play that really bad flute. So all those like out of tune flute were actually played with the worst kind of flute you can possibly find. And there's actually a special feature of her playing those bad flute and cringing. It's just so funny. You want to learn 笛子, right? Yeah, 尾音. This one that plays this way is 笛子, and it needs I think it needs a layer of 笛膜 to cover a hole. so that you can play it. Whereas Lan Xichen's music instrument, which is this way, which is called xiao, and that xiao doesn't need you add on a layer of sort of the covering thing of the whole. I actually have a xiao, but I can't really play it. I bought it and I tried to learn it, and I realized I can't because my hand is not big enough. It just doesn't work. But I have one here, which would be similar thing to what Lan Xichen would have. But his is longer and he's made of jade, which is like, you know, just to be expensive and cool. Probably doesn't sound good when you have stone instead of like, say, bamboo. So this is a xiao, but this is a short xiao. There's a longer version that's like about that much longer. And then I can't carry that in my suitcase because it's too long. So I bought the short one. They actually sound pretty much the same. It's just like they have different design. The short one has 8 holes. You can see 7 in the front and then 1 in the back. Whereas the traditional long one, which would be what Lan Xichen has, is a 6 hole, I think. Xiao. Sounds very nice, but I can't really play it well, so I can't hold it. My fingers are not long enough. The thing with this is, because when you have to hold it like this, you have to cover all the holes, and then your hand becomes in like a really weird position. Like it just my fingers are not long enough. And supposedly this is in G, which is already the easiest one to hold. The F is even harder, so I'm trying to make a sound. It's very hard to make it sound. It's just hard. I'm trying to make it sound because it sounds really nice, but I can hardly do it, you know. So that's with the bamboo. That will sound like this. But then with jade, I have no idea. I can't afford one with jade. It's really, really difficult. I can't do it, I think. Just because my hand, like you can't physically make your hand bigger than it is, you know, like that's like, that requires magic. I can do it. So it's just like when you can't hold it, what else can you do? Doesn't matter how hard you practice, it's just not big enough. So. But I prefer Xiao's sound to these. These is very bright. It's extremely bright and happy compared to Xiao. Xiao is like the sadder, more sort of low voiced kind of sound. Wow. Wow. What happened? Like the light just... Okay, I think I will go off in 3 minutes. Yeah, I tried. I did my best. It sounds really good. Yes, I agree. But I'm terrible at playing it. There are some things that just can't be done. You know, there are people who actually play piano, and then to make their hands like bigger, they would actually do surgery of cutting their hand here, literally scissor it and then make it open wider. I'm not that kind of person. I would never do that to myself just for a music instrument. But I do know people who do it. And it's actually not weird in professional world of it. It's just insane. Drama DVD, I have no idea. These days, most dramas in China don't have DVDs because nobody actually has DVD player and look at stuff on DVD anymore. Everybody is like streaming, or in, like, you know, like you save like files and for computer. Hardly anyone. Like, so I haven't actually seen DVDs for quite a while. Yeah, playing piano. Yeah, piano is hard. Thank you guys. And then next time probably we're gonna do another drama, you know, probably either Guardian or Love and Destiny. It really is like, I know Love and Destiny probably has a smaller audience, but it's a really sweet drama. It's just, and then the Viki, like I go on Viki to look at Love and Destiny and see how international, you know, like live comments are different. And I've actually discovered the international live comments and Chinese live comments on China's website are very different. Sometimes it's just very funny to observe like what people look at and people pick at and people find funny or find problematic of the same thing that are completely different. You know, like it's just what we call 脑回路. The circuit of the brain is completely differently wired. It's very enlightening. So I watch stuff on Viki purely for the comment and just compare them to what it looks like in China. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. On Viki, I think it's up, but it's like chucking out episodes slowly. It's not like the whole thing is not fully there, but I think they will get there very soon. So that's cool. Thank you guys for joining in this chat. Although, you know, like it's not like a huge amount of people, but everybody definitely are true fans of Untamed and stuff. Yeah. And then I don't know if I'm gonna make more Hot Pot TV videos on the Untamed, but if I do, you know, I'll let you guys know. I'm just running out of topics to talk about really, because that drama, I think it's everywhere. There's so much information about it. It doesn't need me to talk about it more. So thank you guys. I'm gonna end this stream with my ending image, and then wherever you are, have a nice day, have a nice evening. I'll see you next time.